Yes. Good afternoon to all. Right? His voice is clear. Can you hear me? His voice is audible. Right. Right. So in the last class, we have been discussing about reproduction in human beings, right? So today we are going to see about the parturition and lactation. Once we'll see that, then we'll see the overall chapter once, right? So today's what parturition and lactation. Before that, once we finish, then we'll go to the question session also, right? Parturition, parturition and lactation and lactation and lactation, parturition and lactation we are going to see. As we have discussed yesterday, right? What is gestation period? Gestation period, the time period for the development of the fetus is called as gestation period, isn't it? The maximum gestation period, what? 9 months is the gestation period in the human beings, isn't it? 9 months is the gestation period. Gestation period. Gestation period is how much? 9 months, right? The period, right? The time period that is required for the development of the fetus or the baby is called as gestation period. Is it clear? Definition. What is the definition? The time period that is required for the development of the fetus or the baby is called as what? Gestation period. Our gestation period is what? 9 months. 9 months is our gestation period, isn't it? So if you want to tell in days wise, we can say like 260 days, or we can say in week wise also 38 weeks or 40 weeks. Plus it will increase sometimes it will increase. 38 weeks is from the time of fertilization, 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 from the time of fertilization is 38 weeks. And whereas 40 weeks is what? From the last menstrual cycle, from the last menstrual cycle, from the last menstrual cycle, if we calculate, it goes around 40 weeks and 38 weeks, isn't it? Yesterday we have seen about what? The 9 months. During 9 months, and in which month the heart is going to be formed? In which month heart is going to be seen? The formation of heart is seen in which month? Formation of heart is seen in which month? The formation of heart is seen in which month? Very good. Which week? How many weeks? How many weeks are required? If it is in the form of week? Good. Very good. Very good. What is that? 4 weeks. 4 weeks are right. So one trimester include how many months? One trimester includes how many months? One trimester includes how many months? Good. 3 months. 3 months. What? 3 months. Okay. First month 4 to 5 week. Okay. 3 months. 3 months. Okay. 3 months is the correct answer. 3 months includes one trimester. So totally how many trimesters are there in a gestation period of human being? How many trimesters are there? How many trimesters are there in? Very good. How many? There are 3 trimesters are there. Right. 3 trimester. First movement of the baby is going to be seen in which month? The first movement of the baby is going to be seen in which month? The first movement of the baby is going to be seen in which month? 6th month. Little 5th month. Rahman. Right. What is that? What is that? 5th month. 5th month is the answer. Very good. 5th month. The 5th month, what happens? I said that what fine hair is going to be formed, right? Fine hair is going to be formed on the hair, on the head, and as well as the movement of the baby is going to be seen, right? And the events like this, what formation of what eyelids are going to get separated, and eyelashes are going to be fine, and fine hair is formed on the head, on the body hair is going to be seen at the end of which trimester, at the end of which trimester, at the end of which trimester we are going to see what eyelashes. Very good, very good. At the eyelashes are going to be formed, eyelids are separated, and body hair formed at what? Second trimester. Very good, very good. Good response. What? At the second, at the second what? At the second trimester, by the end of the second trimester or the 6th month, what happens? Formation of body hair and as well eyelashes and eyelids are going to get separated. Eyelids are going to get separated. Clear? Right. So we have seen that, isn't it? Now, as I'm saying, what I'm saying here, right? 9 months is a gestation period. If you are going to calculate it, it is around 266 days, 266 days. And if you are going to calculate in the week wise, it is 38 weeks. Or that is after fertilization. If you are calculating, it is 38 weeks, isn't it? 38 weeks and 40 weeks from the last menstrual cycle. Last menstrual cycle. This is about what? Gestation period. And second one, parturition. What is parturition? Parturition means what? An act of expulsion of the baby out from the mother's womb or uterus is called as parturition. See what happens here as the 9 months is completed, as the baby is fully formed, as the baby is fully formed, what happens? The baby is going to show some kind of reflex. The baby is going to show some kind of reflex. The baby is going to show some kind of reflex. This is the head. The head is fixed in the cervix. The head is going to fix at the cervix. Whenever the head is fixed at cervix, what happens? Then what happens? The fetus is going to show some kind of reflex called as fetal ejection reflex. What do you call it as? Fetal. Fetal means fetus. Fetal ejection means coming out. Fetal ejection reflex. We have various kinds of reflexes, right? Reflex arcs you have seen, isn't it? Gastroesophageal reflex is there, right? So like that here, what is it? Fetal ejection reflex. Once the 9 months is completed, from the embryo itself, the signals is going to get generated. The signals, the initiation of contraction. What? The signal is being sent from the fetus itself, and these fetus and as well as what? The placenta, and as well as what? The placenta, right? Fetus and placenta together cause the fetal ejection reflex, right? Due to these reflex, what happens? This reflex is going to cause contract. It is going to show the contraction of smooth muscles, contraction of smooth muscles. We said no, epimetrium, myometrium, middle layer is what? Myometrium. So it is going to contract what? The smooth muscles, that is myometrium. And due to this, what happens? The baby is going to, the uterus is going to contract it vigorously. Okay. Due to this, what? The fetal ejection reflex, the uterus is going to contract vigorously, and during this time itself, what happens? It is going to send the information to the pituitary gland, to the pituitary, or directly we can say it is going to send the information to the hypothalamus, right? Hypothalamus. It is going to send the information to the hypothalamus, and these hypothalamus is going to release the hormone. What is the hormone which is being secreted? That is oxytocin. Oxytocin is released, which is stored in the posterior pituitary. which is stored in the posterior pituitary is going to released in response to the stimulation caused by the fetus, and this oxytocin is going to show its effect on the the myometrium, so that severe contractions are going to be seen, and finally what happens, the baby is going to expelled out. An act of expulsion of the fetus or the baby out of the uterus is called as parturition. This fetal ejection reflex is a neuroendocrine mechanism. Neuroendocrine reflex, because what here both the chemical control and as well as neural control both are involved, and hence it is called neuroendocrine reflex. Okay, the act of delivery is what? Neuroendocrine reflex. Clear? Oxytocin is very important, because this oxytocin is going to help in the contraction of the uterus muscles, right? Can you name the hormone at the time of pregnancy? During the normal time of pregnancy also, a hormone is going to prevent the contraction of the uterus. Can you name the hormone? A hormone is going to prevent the contraction of uterus during pregnancy. Name the hormone. What is the hormone? Name the hormone which is going to prevent the contraction of uterus during pregnancy. Very good. Very good. From boys side, only one response. Yes. Girls side. What is the hormone? The hormone which is going to inhibit the contractions of what? Contraction of, good, very good. Right, that is progesterone hormone. I said yesterday, progesterone. Very good. Progesterone hormone. So this is what? Fetal ejection reflex. Okay, fetal ejection reflex. Now, once the fetus is fully formed, the fetus head is going to fix at the cervix, right? And at the cervix, what happens? It has some kind of plug, mucus plug is present. A thick mucus plug is present. This mucus plug is going to fall off. The brownish mucus plug is going to fall off, and the cervix is going to get dilated, so that the baby is going to push by the mother with the help of what? Midwife or the doctors and the nurse. So the baby is going to come out through the birth canal. How the birth canal is formed? By the cervical cavity. By the cervical canal plus vagina. Together form, isn't it? For example, this is the cervix. Assume that this is the cervix. Cervix is dilated, right? This is the cervix, and this is the vagina. Through the cervix and vagina, the baby is going to pushed out, right? During this process, first is what? See, normally this is a sign of the delivery. Some kind of mucus and some kind of discharge is going to be seen through the vagina. Once the what? When they reach to the delivery, during the time of delivery, right? So this process is going to be happen. It's an indication of the delivery. Some kind of mucosal discharge, some kind of watery fluid is going to discharge from the vagina, which is an indication of delivery, right? This is about what? Parturition. Once the baby is out, then what happens? This is the baby, isn't it? You know that yesterday we have seen the baby is fixed like this. And what is this? This is the umbilical cord. This is the umbilical cord, isn't it? Umbilical cord, right? So now once the baby is come out, what happens? You may ask doubt, sir, why here the placenta is also going to come out? Once the baby comes out, the placenta also come out. What is the reason here? During parturition, progesterone levels abruptly falls off, so that what happens when the progesterone hormones are more, at that time we cannot expect this one, what the separation of placenta, umbilical cord and baby is very different, very difficult. So at the time of parturition, what happens, the progesterone levels are going to decreases gradually. Once it decreases, what happens, the delivery is going to takes place, and once the fetus is going to come out, once the fetus is going to comes out, what happens, the doctors are going to cut the umbilical cord, right? The doctors are going to cut these umbilical cord. This is the umbilical cord, isn't it? So now the baby is out, so this umbilical cord is going to cut, isn't it? The umbilical cord is going to cut, and they're going to place some kind of clamps. They're going to place the clamps, or else if the parents are interested, they're going to give this for stem cell banking. Umbilical cord banking, we call umbilical cord banking. So they're going to cut here. They take this part for the umbilical cord block, umbilical cord banking. From that, they're going to extract stem cells, which are going to be helpful for future needs. Once this is happened, whatever the placenta that is present here, that is also going to come out through the vagina. The placenta is also going to decidua, we call. What do you call? Once the placenta comes out, that we call as decidua. Clear, ma? Is this clear? Yes. Is this clear? Any doubts? Right. In twins and triplets, how umbilical cord is connected? See, good question. Good. See, normally what happens, the placenta will be the same. The umbilical cord is going to be differ. In case of twins. In case of twins, it may be the dizygotic twins or triplets or quadruplets. What happens? Normally, even these we can see in non-primates. Normally, primates have only one uterus. There are some animals like cow, goat, sheep, okay, pigs. They have more than one, more than two, multiple uteruses are present them. So in them also same like us, what happens? Only one placenta is present. From these placenta, what umbilical cords will be more. Clear? Umbilical cords will be separately attached from placenta to the fetus, so that there won't be any kind of problem in the distribution of nutrients to each and every fetus separately. How do ejection takes place in them? Same method. What I said, once the baby they are fully formed, they show some kind of what movement against the wall of the endometrium, which gives the stimulation to the myometrium, and then that information goes to the posterior pituitary, and this posterior pituitary releases the oxytocin, and this oxytocin and the contraction of uterus will continue for a longer time until the fetuses are expelled out. This process is going to be continued. Fetal ejection reflex, that I'm saying, fetal ejection reflex is made of both neuroendocrine in nature, both neural and as well as endocrine. In the sense what? Oxytocin is involving, right? Oxytocin is involving. And as well, what neural, once the baby is fully formed, that information is going to carry it to the CNS, central nervous system. Therefore we call it as neuroendocrine reflex. Neuroendocrine reflex. This is about what? Parturition. So parturition, gestation period, and fetal ejection reflex. Fetal ejection reflex, where the signals are going to be originated from the fully formed fetus, from the fully formed fetus itself, from the fully formed fetus itself, from the fully formed fetus itself, the signals are going to originated, and a little amount of placenta, from the little amount of placenta, right? In case, sometimes what happens in the case of abortions, yesterday someone asked out, in case of abortions what happens, this, the mucus here, the cervix is very tightly during the time of gestation period. Before 9 months, the cervix is very tight, it is very compact in nature, right? So that what happens, that cervix is going to blocked with the thick mucus, right? If suddenly this mucus falls off, suddenly the mucus falls off, or due to some kind of vaginal infection, isn't it? Various kinds of infections are very common, which we call as sexually transmitted diseases or sexually infections. Okay, sexual infections we call, right? There, which we are going to see in upcoming classes, like in reproductive health, we are going to see that sexually transmitted infection or sexually transmitted diseases or venereal diseases we call. So in such cases, if any kind of infections has been occurred at that time, that is very danger to the developing fetus even. Or else during the time of the pregnancy, when the progesterone levels are not up to the mark, at that time what happens, the uterus may going to contract. When the uterus is going to contract, what happens, the endometrium is going to get degenerated. Once the endometrium is going to degenerated, the fetus is also going to get fall off. The fetus which is penetrated is also going to fall off, right? This is about what? Uh, Parturition, gestation period, and fetal ejection reflex. Next is what? Lactation. Lactation. What is lactation? See here, we have said why operation delivery occurs if this delivery is easy, right? You are right. See, normally we have two types of deliveries. One is called vaginal delivery, we call vaginal delivery. Vaginal delivery matlab normal delivery, which I have shown over the board. So at that time what happens here, the mother can bear the pains normally. Now so called because of different kind of issues, few people cannot bear the pains, isn't it? So they request the doctor to go for what surgery? Cesarean, C-section we call. Okay, one is what? Vaginal delivery. Vaginal delivery. Vaginal, normal delivery bolte na, commonly we use was normal delivery. Vaginal delivery. The other one is C-section. C-section means C-shape cutting is going to be done, or vaginal delivery, or no, or C-section, or cesarean we call, right? So why most of the people are going to prefer vaginal delivery? Because more complications will come in later period of life, isn't it? Few people become more, they have their own problems, isn't it? For that reason, many people, they won't go for vaginal delivery only, but doctors do perform these only. But in many cases what happens, when the baby head is not fixed in the cervix, okay, when the baby head must fix in the cervix, sometimes the baby head may not fix in the cervix, right? So at that time sometimes what happened, the cervix is not completely dilated at that time, or else they do by seeing the condition of the patient and the mother, what happens here, they're going to perform the C-section. This is important here. Oxytocin is releasing from where? From the maternal, from the mother, okay. So in the maternal blood, which levels are going to be increases during the parturition? Oxytocin. So this oxytocin is called as parturition hormone. Parturition hormone is what? Parturition hormone is what? Oxytocin. Oxytocin को क्या बोल सकते हैं? Parturition hormone बोल सकते हैं, क्योंकि the maternal blood, what happened from the mother's hypothalamus, it gets signal so that the posterior pituitary, which is stored the oxytocin, is going to be released. This oxytocin, even when we see the mammary glands, which hormone is helpful in the drawing the milk? Drawing the milk from the mammary glands means oxytocin, because oxytocin helps in the contraction of the smooth muscles. Okay, here also smooth muscles. Similarly, some smooth muscles are present even in the mammary glands. There also the oxytocin plays a vital role. The contraction of these oxytocin muscles is responsible for the egestion, for the releasing of milk from the mammary glands. So oxytocin, this is only the injection which is given to the buffaloes also, the cow or the buffalo milk, to get more amount of milk. What they're going to take the artificial oxytocin and they're going to give the injection to the cow or the buffalo, so that what happened, more amount of milk is being going to be yielded. The milking is done very easily. More amount of milk yield is going to be seen by the introducing of what? Oxytocin. That is the reason why the many child, see, normally the age of sexual maturity will be different, around 12 to 13 or 13 or 14. But these days at 10 years, at 11 years, the female child is getting the sexual maturity because of the adulteration of food. The milk which we drink is adulterated. The curd, I mean, the more amount of what hormones are getting, and the meat which we are eating, the chicken or various kinds of meat, whatever we are eating, it is highly imbalancing our hormone levels in our body, which leads to various kinds of disorders, and it is also going to change our body functions also. That is the reason, one of the reasons I'm saying, it is not the only reason, one of the reasons where the sexual maturity is being attaining very very within less time, because of having this kind of adulterated matlab, contaminated, or some kind of not good food, some chemicals, some antibiotics, some kind of chemicals have been mixed. Clear? Is this clear? Up to here clear? Gestation. What is miscarriage? Same. Miscarriage matlab abortion. So that is more, it sounds good. Miscarriage or abortions, both are same. Miscarriage or abortion, both are same. Yes, yes. Placenta comes out. Placenta, once the baby comes out from the through this birth canal, after that what happened? The placenta also going to come out. The placenta is also going to come out, which we call as decidua. You might have seen these. What in the cow? What happens? In the cow also same thing happens, but there the mother is going to eat the decidua. The placenta, whatever comes out, that is going to be eaten by the mother. This is all out of information. Up to here, it's enough. Clear? This is about what? Parturition. Then what about the lactation? Lactation means what here, as I have seen, a pair of mammary glands are integrated structurally, functionally, which is going to helpful in child care, isn't it? Child care, ovulation, we have seen, isn't it? So here, during the time of pregnancy, there will be much the differentiation of the mammary glands is going to be seen. Mammary glands are going to get differentiated by the end of the time of the delivery. The mammary glands are ready to to feed the newborn with the breast milk or mother's milk, we call. That is the reason why the doctors recommend especially giving mother's milk, because for the healthy upgrowing of the babies, isn't it? The mother milk is the best one. Why? What is the reason? The reason here, the initial days of mother's milk is called as colostrum. This is important. The initial days of the first initial days of mother's milk, which is light yellowish in color, is called as colostrum. These colostrum contains many antibodies. Many antibodies are present, which is going to give immunity, which is going to give resistance to the newborn baby, because the newborn baby, he or she did not develop what immune system, isn't it? As and when he come out from the mother's womb, he is not ready to fight with any kind of infection, isn't it? So for that reason, from mother's milk, through the mother's milk, some antibodies, some immunoglobulins, namely IgA, immunoglobulin A, IgA, immunoglobulin alpha, immunoglobulin alpha, immunoglobulin alpha is going to transmitted from mother's milk to the fetus. So these kind of immunity is called as passive immunity. So we are going to study about these in the immunology chapter, but you must remember this: colostrum contains immunoglobulin, matlab antibodies. Immunoglobulins means what? Antibodies. What kind of antibodies are present in the mother's milk? That is IgA, immunoglobulin alpha. Immunoglobulin alpha is going to be present, which is going to protect the baby. And one more thing, one more question will be there here. Which immunoglobulin is going to cross the placenta? That is IgG, immunoglobulin gamma. Immunoglobulin gamma is the smallest, very small, right? These immunoglobulin G can cross the placenta. It can cross the placenta. So you should remember this. There are 5 immunoglobulins are there, which you are going to come across in future classes: IgA, IgM, IgD, IgE, IgG. Okay, 5 immunoglobulins are there. What are that? Ig, immunoglobulin, IgG, IgA, IgD, IgE, IgM, IgM. So already you have seen two: IgG, IgA, right? Immunoglobulin gamma is going to, the only immunoglobulin which can pass through the placenta is IgG. What is IgA? Immunoglobulin alpha is going to present in the mother's milk, that is in the colostrum, which is going to help in the what? It gives the immunity to the newborn. Passive immunity we call. Both IgG and IgA, they are giving immunity to the newborn baby directly. So these kind of immunity which is passing from mother to the newborn is called as passive immunity. Passive मतलब क्या है? यहाँ पे जो infant का immune system तो कुछ active नहीं है, just directly receiving from the mother. So it is called passive immunity. Passive immunity. Clear? This is about what? Lactation. During lactation, what happened? The mammary glands get differentiated, and there by the end of the pregnancy, they're going to be what? The filled with, I mean, it is going to get ready to fill, to give the milk to the newborn baby. And milk, the first milk of the mother is called, the initial few days we call initial few days, 3 to 4 days of the milk is called colostrum, light yellow in color, which is contain IgA, immunoglobulin alpha, right? This is about parturition and lactation. This is about the chapter human reproduction. What we have seen so far is this, right? So today's, if you have any doubt or any other doubts, if you have, you text me. Otherwise, we will go for quick keyword method. There is one method is there, whatever the words which we have seen so far, I'll write over the board so that it will be easy for us. Some mothers cannot feed their child. Why? Crossing placenta means they will move. Means all the immunoglobulins cannot cross the placenta. Okay, they cannot move in the blood from mother to fetus. Okay, but only one immunoglobulin that can cross placenta is immuno IgG. IgG. Okay. Why some women dies at the time of delivery? What precautions should women take to avoid that death? Here thing is that what mentally they must strong. Mentally they must strong. Everyone for the first time they're going to experience, no, that is very advent what very difficult only. We cannot men cannot explain the problem of the women, so it's very 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 difficult to express that kind of problems. So at that time what happened, you know, the doctor team also should be good, isn't it? So one should attend the patient at right time, and they should instill the confidence in her. And moreover, the conditions also suitable, so that what happens they can prevent. And more thing is that we must see the what various kinds of symptoms which we are seeing, but that symptoms by seeing that symptoms only. But these days MMR that has been reduced, maternal mortality rate, we call it as, right? Clear that we are going to see in the next class. And many were asking doubts, what is the doubt? Some people cannot feed their young ones because of various kinds of reasons, right? For example, they may have the less amount, they may not give, less amount of milk may be present at that time. Will there are various kinds of what jellies and as well as the granules are there, which are going to be given by the doctor, they will. But if there is any kind of health issues is there, they cannot, they're not going to give the top feed. Clear? This is about what? Lactation and parturition, gestation period. Right. So in this chapter, we have been seeing from the starting. First, what we have seen, the major events we have seen, isn't it? The major events in the reproduction we have seen. What are the major events in the reproduction? That will just in the form of a key points we'll write, so that what happens, it gives the final touch to the chapter. And from the next class, we are going to start a new chapter, right? And before the examination, we'll see a quick revision on this chapter. Practice is very important. You need to attend many questions. If you try to solve many questions, then you're going to remember the things very easily. If not, it is very difficult. If not, it is very difficult. Right. So keyword method we are saying. Keyword method. Keyword method means whatever the words which we have come across in this chapter, I'm going to present you on the board. So I'll be asking wherever, if you have any doubts, you can ask, right? We'll see that and then we'll move on, right? So first we have seen what here. Can you see? Right. Right. Gametogenesis. Gametogenesis. Right? Gametogenesis. Second, spermatogenesis. 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 And oogenesis. Oogenesis. Isn't it? Spermatogenesis, oogenesis, insemination. 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 Fertilization. 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 And sixth, implantation. Implantation. Gestation. Gestation period we call, no? Gestation period or gestation. And parturition. 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 Right? Scrotum. 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 And 2 to 2.5. Scrotum. Tunica vaginalis. vaginalis, parietalis, parietalis, tunica vaginalis, parietalis, tunica vaginalis, parietalis, and next tunica vaginalis, tunica vaginalis, visceralis, visceralis. Next, tunica albuginea, tunica albuginea, tunica albuginea. 250 200 to 250 testicular lobules. 200 to 250 testicular lobules are present, isn't it? And next, inguinal canal, inguinal canal, inguinal canal, inguinal canal, and 2 to 2.5 degrees centigrade, 2 to 2.5 degrees centigrade, 2 to 2.5 degrees centigrade, and seminiferous tubules, seminiferous tubules, seminiferous tubules, right? Then Sertoli cells, Sertoli cells, Sertoli cells. Next, gubernaculum, 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 right? Inguinal canal finished, right? Inguinal canal. Next, spermatogenesis. Can you see? Right. Spermatogenesis, spermatogenesis, spermatogenesis. 28th, spermatogenesis. Next, spermiogenesis, spermiogenesis. Then 21, spermiation, 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 right? So these are the various kinds of terms which we have come across during this chapter, isn't it? And spermatogonia, spermatogonia, right? Spermatogonia, spermatogonium, spermatogonium, or sperm mother cell, or sperm mother cell, sperm mother cells, sperm mother cells, isn't it? After that, if you see the pathway, you can write the pathway also, what we have seen so far. What is that? Seminiferous tubules, seminiferous tubules, seminiferous tubules opens into, seminiferous tubules opens into rete testis, rete testis opens into, rete testis opens into vasa efferentia, vasa efferentia, vasa efferentia opens into, vasa efferentia opens into epididymis, 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 right? Epididymis opens into vas deferens, vas deferens, vas deferens opens into, vas deferens or ductus deferens opens into what? It opens into seminal vesicles and form ductus ejaculatorus or ejaculatory duct, ejaculatory duct, ejaculatory duct. Then it opens into, then it opens into urethra, and from urethra it is going to get eliminated out by means of what? Urethral orifice, urethral orifice, urethral orifice, isn't it? Then when we have seen the transverse section of what section, cross section of seminiferous tubule, we have come across these terminology. What is that? Interstitial cells, interstitial cells, interstitial cells, or interstitial cells of lady, or interstitial cells stimulating hormone, ICSH, ICSH, interstitial cells are there, isn't it? Interstitial cells, Sertoli cells, nurse cells, or substanticular cells. Sertoli cells have different names. Like supporting cells also we call them. Next, primary spermatocyte. Primary spermatocyte. Primary spermatocyte. Then secondary spermatocyte. Secondary spermatocyte. Secondary spermatocyte. Then meiosis 1. Meiosis 1. Prophase 1. Meiosis 1. Prophase 1. Then meiosis 2. Meiosis 2. Metaphase 2. Meiosis 2. Metaphase 2. Metaphase 2. Okay. Then spermatid. Spermatid. Then spermatozoa. 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 Or we can write sperm. We can write sperm, or we can write spermatozoon. Spermatozoon, right? Then acrosome. Acrosome. Then hyaluronidase. Hyaluronidase. Hyaluronidase enzyme. Hyaluronidase, right? Hyaluronidase. You can write other things like this. If you write, what happens? You're going to get command over the chapter. You're going to get command over the chapter. So just now what we have seen, only the keywords. Not even still, it's not even still completed. We have corpora cavernosa, corpora spongiosum, like that we are there. We'll continue now. Now itself we are going to continue, right? So in this way, if you are going to remember what happens, it will be parturition once. Okay, one second. Once if it is finished, I'll say 18th one. Gubernaculum. 18th one is gubernaculum. What is gubernaculum? See, a fibrous cord. For example, what is this? Is the scrotum. This is the scrotum, right? And what is this? This is the testis, right? The testis is going to held in its position in the scrotal sac by means of a fibrous cord. Fibrous cord called gubernaculum. Fibrous cord, gubernaculum. Yes, I didn't write since the place is not sufficient. I didn't write all that. Once if it is finished, they will move. Once if it is finished, we'll move. Okay. What is gubernaculum? The testis is going to connect it. Testis is going to connect it to the base of the scrotum. It is going to held in its position by means of a tough fibrous cord is called as gubernaculum. Gubernaculum. So now I'll put the questions. You just tell the numbers. Okay. You just tell the numbers. Can you see the numbers clearly? Because it should not disturb you while you're answering. Can you see the numbers clearly? Okay. All right. The process of liberation of sperms into the lumen of seminiferous tubules is called. Just to give number. The process of liberation of sperms from the process of liberation of sperms into the lumen of seminiferous tubule is related to 19, 20, 21. Within these three, the answer is there. Don't search everything. 19, 20, 21. Yes, very good. Yes, come on. The process of liberation of sperm. See, in the book, there is one diagram is there. In the NCERT, two diagrams are there on the transverse section of the seminiferous tubule that you should go through. And one more thing, I'll show the diagram. Once if it is finished, I'll show. That is very, very regular question. in even your college, I mean normal in our institute examination or in other competitive exam also, that is the question which the students are going to do a little errors, that we'll see now. Once if it is finished, we'll see. Right. Okay, good, very good. Boys, none of them, none are answering. Hmm? Right. Next. Um, scrotum is going to reduce the temperature compared to our body temperature. Scrotum reduces this much amount of temperature, since the temperature is not ideal. The temperature is not ideal for spermatogenesis. Good, very good. My God, good, very good. That is what this one, 2 to 2.5 degrees centigrade, 2 to 2.5 degrees. And one more you have answered is what? Spermiation, right? Right. Conversion of spermatid into spermatozoa. Conversion of spermatid into spermatozoa is called as conversion of spermatid into spermatozoa is called conversion of, very good, very good. 15, 20. Okay. What is that? 20. That is spermiogenesis. What is that? Spermiogenesis. This spermiogenesis, what we have seen in the last step. FSH hormone is going to helpful. This FSH hormone is going to release some factors from the Sertoli cells. These factors and FSH is going to help in spermiogenesis. Conversion of spermatid into spermatozoa is called as spermiogenesis. Spermiogenesis. Clear. Please send a clear photo of board and it's not clear. Okay, try ma, since it's not working properly. Okay, my mobile, I cannot do that. If anyone comes, we'll see that. But by the time you just try to answer. Clear? What is miscarriage? I said no, miscarriage is nothing but what? Abortion, termination of pregnancy, right? Okay, miscarriage is nothing but abortion. Miscarriage is nothing but abortion. Okay. Right. Next. This is modified form of a Golgi body which is present on the head of the sperm, the spermatozoon, which is filled with various kinds of enzymes like hyaluronidase, acrosin. Very good. Very good. Very good. 30. Okay. That is what? Acrosome. Acrosome is a cap-like structure which is a modified form of Golgi body, and it is filled with various kinds of enzymes like hyaluronidase. Hyaluronidase is also called what? Corona penetrating enzyme. Do you remember? Hyaluronidase is also called what? Corona penetrating enzyme. Corona penetrating enzyme. Meiosis to metaphase 2. Meiosis to metaphase 2. Which stage of spermatogenesis? I mean, which cell is there? Meiosis to metaphase 2. Meiosis to metaphase 2. Meiosis to metaphase 2. Very good. Secondary oocyte or secondary spermatocyte? Okay, good. Secondary oocyte is arrested at meiosis 2, metaphase 2, and meiosis 1, prophase 1 is what? Meiosis 1. No. Wait. This is only correct. Meiosis 2, metaphase 2 is what? Secondary oocyte. Okay. Meiosis 1, prophase 1. Meiosis 1, prophase 1 is primary oocyte. Primary oocyte. Clear? So these you all know. Spermatogonia, spermatogonium, sperm mother cell. Any doubts in this? The words which I have written on that. Once you go through, if you number, then we'll move on to the other one. Just have a look. Clear, right? Is this clear? Okay, right. Okay. So here what happens, vaginal delivery, you should remember. Normally what you need to, progesterone is very, very important. And you know why the people who are, they need more nutritious food and they feel like eating different kinds of taste, that is because of progesterone. Whenever the progesterone levels increases in our body, it stimulates us to take different kinds of taste, so that they are going to have different kinds of food. They're going to wish to eat. They wish to eat different kinds of food because of the hormones. The progesterone level hormones is increased, which is going to influence the taste. So in the diagram based questions, you need to be very clear, right? The urinary bladder, one diagram is there in female reproductive system. Right. Let us see. One diagram is like this. Okay. In the male seminiferous tubule, I'm showing a part of the seminiferous tubule. I'm showing. This is the seminiferous tubule. There you can find like this, the diagram. These are what? Spermatogonium. This is spermatogonium. Singular. Spermatogonium is singular. You can write it as spermatogonia. Okay. The outermost is what? Spermatogonium. Sperm mother cell or spermatogonia. And then what happened over there? The diagram in the textbook, same size, little decreased the size of the cell. And what is this? They have given like this. This is as a primary spermatocyte. Primary spermatocyte. And some like this. What do you call the shape? Rhombus shaped cells are present like this. These cells are what? These are Sertoli cells. Okay. And next they have given one more kind of cells like this. Okay. These diagram is very important. Diagram based questions. Okay. So these shape you need to see, and these cells are what? Sertoli cells. What are these? Sertoli cells. These are Sertoli cells. And once this is the spermatogonia, primary spermatocyte, and these are what? Secondary spermatocyte. Secondary spermatocyte. Secondary spermatocyte. And here itself we are going to see like this, the head of the sperm is embedded in the head of the sperm. See, the head of the sperm is embedded in the Sertoli cells. This is the sperm, right? The head are fixed. And here you can see these are the matured sperms, which are released into the lumen of the seminiferous tubule, which are released into the lumen of the seminiferous tubule. Okay, so here you need to identify it very carefully. Okay, all these second row cells are what? Primary spermatocyte. Primary spermatocyte. All these are primary spermatocyte. And these are what? These one. The beneath the one what? Secondary spermatocyte. These are all what? Secondary spermatocyte. And these diamond shaped cells are there now. This one, diamond shaped cells, which we call as what? Sertoli cells. These are Sertoli cells. These are Sertoli cells. Go through this diagram once in the textbook. Clear, ma? This is one thing. And one more thing is what we have seen, right? Like transfer section of what? The seminiferous tubules. We have seen like this, isn't it? Right? So we have seen a diagram like this, isn't it? So in the male reproductive system, we have seen this one. The space present between what? Seminiferous tubule is called what? Interstitial space. Interstitial space. And the cells, there are different types of cells are present. What do we call that cells as? Leydig cells. Leydig cells we call them as. Leydig cells, isn't it? Leydig cells. And here internally it is lined by means of what is the epithelium? Germinal epithelium. Germinal. Internally it is lined by means of which epithelium? Germinal epithelium. So this diagram and this diagram once you go through. And even urinary bladder is there. Urinary bladder. So there they have shown the location of the urinary bladder like this. See, this is the urinary bladder in females. Just been back to that, what is present? This is the uterus, and here rectum is present. Rectum is present here. Okay, so what happens, you know, sometimes during the last stages of pregnancy, due to this, what happened? The uterus is highly developed, right? Highly developed. So that what happens? It is going to cause some pressure over the urinary bladder. Urinary bladder के ऊपर क्या हुआ? Pressure होता. So that at that time involuntary urination is occurred in the what? Pregnant ladies. Okay, in few of them. What? Because the urinary bladder is located, uterus is located between urinary bladder and what is this? Rectum. So that what happened, as this uterus is enlarging, as the days are increasing of the gestation period, it caused some pressure on the urinary bladder. So that what happened? Involuntary urination is also going to be seen during carrying. That is in the last stages of pregnancy. During the last stages of pregnancy. Clear? These are the things where you need to take care. Diagram based questions. Still, if you have any problem in this chapter, sir, at this topic, if we are not confident, once you go through, means that if you text that, we'll see on the Saturday. Okay, on the Saturday we are going to see that. Okay, so far what we have seen here, first we have seen major events in reproduction we have seen. Under that we have seen various kinds of definition. Later we have seen male reproductive system, along with that spermatogenesis and structure of sperm, and the hormones that are involved in the spermatogenesis also we have seen. And once after finished that, what we have seen? Yes, this one. Okay, which was shared in the group. Which group? This one. Okay, this one, this only. Okay, this you need to take care. Right. Then after that we have seen female reproductive system. Then oogenesis is seen. Oogenesis, little complexity is there. For example, if I ask like that, spermatogenesis is going to begin at. Yes, send me the answer. Text me the answer. Spermatogenesis begins at. Spermatogenesis begins at. Spermatogenesis. Tunica. Oh, okay. Layers you want. Okay. You asked two. Okay. Tunica. Very good. After puberty or during puberty. But what about the in females? What about in oogenesis? Is oogenesis is going to start after puberty or before puberty, or is there any other answer? After puberty, before. Okay, after puberty in spermatogenesis, before puberty in oogenesis, I think, right? Okay. That is during embryonic developmental stage itself, the oogenesis is going to initiated. A point yaad rakh kar lena. I see you need to remember the oogenesis is going to be initiated during the embryonic stage of development itself. Oogenesis is initiated. Clear ma? Right, early stages also you can put, no problem. Right. So a student asked it out, that once we'll see, then we'll move on. See here, normally this is the testis. This is the testis, right? So these testis, outside layer is called tunica vaginalis. A black color hai na? What is this? Tunica vaginalis. Tunica vaginalis. यही vaginalis को differentiate कर सकते हैं. Outer and inner. Outer and inner. How we can write? See, this is the testis. You can demarcate like this. This is the outer and this is the inner. We can give two names. What is that? Tunica vaginalis parietalis, tunica vaginalis visceralis. Okay, the outer one is called tunica vaginalis parietalis. Tunica vaginalis parietalis. And the inner one is what? Tunica vaginalis. Tunica vaginalis visceralis. Tunica vaginalis visceralis. Tunica vaginalis visceralis. Tunica vaginalis parietalis. Tunica vaginalis parietalis. Yes, during embryonic development. Okay. जो ये बाहर लेयर है ना, tunica vaginalis बोलते हैं. And inside one more layer is there, no? This is called tunica albuginea. Tunica albuginea. Okay, this tunica vaginalis is differentiated into two: outer tunica vaginalis parietalis and inner tunica vaginalis visceralis. Visceralis. Clear? And this tunica albuginea itself is going to show some kind of what? Infoldings, which results in the formation of what? Infoldings and forms testicular lobules. Around 200 to 250 testicular lobules are formed. Clear? This is about what? Various kinds of layers that are present on the testes. Anything else? So once you go through the chapter, and regularly I'll be asking the questions. Okay, write these ones: spermatogenesis, oogenesis, schematic diagrams are there now. Today, send in the WhatsApp. Right after writing this one, what the diagram, schematic presentation of spermatogenesis and oogenesis. Okay, schematic presentation of spermatogenesis and oogenesis. You just send it in the WhatsApp. That's true enough. Okay, And that's it. We're going to meet in the next class with a new chapter. Clear, comfortable, right, everyone? Any kind of ambiguity or confusion, or everyone is clear, right? Right then, we'll meet in the next class. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.